are having a great day so far. Today's another hit and miss video, and I'm really excited about today's video because it will probably be the first time that I'm doing a super high-end brand's foundation. And I mean, by the title of this video, I'm sure you have seen that it is the Lancôme foundation, the cushion foundation. I was so excited when I got this in the mail because I read all about it on social media and people were raving about it, and when Lancôme sent it to me, I was just like, ah. I'm not giving away any secrets because obviously you want to see my first impression and all of that, but I quickly just wanted to run through the actual foundations. So basically this is what the packaging looks like. It's a beautiful chrome silver box, but inside you have a stunning gold, ooh, it's a little bit dirty, I'm sorry. It's a stunning gold little compact container, which obviously has the foundation inside. And what I really love about this is the fact that you can also buy refills for it, so you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on a whole new compact compartment. You kind of just refill the foundation part, which is pretty cool. So let me show you a little close-up of what it looks like. So you've got the gorgeous little rose logo on top. As you can see, it's such a beautiful marigold finish. When you open it, you have a separate compartment with a beautiful mirror that's crystal clear, where you can kind of keep your little cushion. So if you flip this little part over, that is where you have the actual cushion where the foundation lies within. These foundations go for $4.99 at your closest retailer. I definitely saw them at Edgars. That's where I actually asked for the price. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight into this hit or miss so you can see if this product is a yay or a nay. Okay, so I already prepped and primed my skin before using this foundation. I think if you're gonna spend this much on a high-end foundation, you would definitely want to use a high-end primer, so I already did that. And then I'm also gonna set with my powder that I always use, just to make sure that I really can test this product out on a daily basis, how I would wear my makeup on a daily basis. So let's get started with this guy and see how it goes. I absolutely love the packaging, it's so pretty. And obviously you've got the mirror inside, which is pretty clear. You can see everything. You can see quite a big area on your face, which is quite nice because you can kind of see how you blend it in. This spongy thing, I would say it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's almost like you have to put 3 fingers in and then it's almost too much. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to use the cushion. I'm not sure if you could maybe use like a beauty sponge with this product. I'm sure you could, but it's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting how you just press and the foundation just comes up. That is quite amazing. As you can see, I did squeeze some product because I was just so keen on trying it out, but I haven't used it on my face yet. So let's do this. Okay, so I'm picking up foundation. I'm gonna start on my T-zone area, and you just kind of see what I mean with like holding the cushion. It kind of just slides off. Oh wow. Okay, so straight off the bat I can just tell that I'm quite impressed with the color tone they sent me, because this is absolutely perfect for my skin. And then the coverage is like, wow. Like I thought for cushion foundation it would just be like buildable coverage maybe, but you've got full coverage from the start go, which is pretty amazing. What I also like about this foundation is usually full coverage foundations can feel quite heavy on the skin, but I feel like this is a super lightweight formula. It's got a very silky texture to it, which is obviously what they claim. So that's a thumbs up. Let's see if it covers this little pimple over here. It does. I'm not sure how many uses you would get out of a product like this. I'm not quite sure how much is in here and how long it would last. But for the price, I think it's actually quite reasonable for a high-end foundation. Just adding some more underneath my eyes. Okay, so first impression for this, I would definitely say that I'm super impressed with the coverage of this foundation. It actually applies quite easily. It's very easy to blend. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's quite a dewy foundation, so it's not something that you would just like wear on your face and leave as is unless you have very dry skin. But I am going to set it with the powder like I usually do, a loose translucent powder, and then I'm just going to finish the rest of my face and be right back. Okay, so I'm still busy filming, but this would be my first check-in. It is now 11:16. I did my foundation at 10 a.m. and as you can hear, my house is being cleaned. That's why I'm struggling a little bit to film today, so I thought let me just quickly do the check-in so you guys can see it looks pretty flawless. It's not cakey at all. For full coverage foundation, it is not cakey. It literally feels silky and smooth. After I applied the powder and everything, I did use a setting spray just to get rid of excess powder, but it literally feels so lightweight. So it's definitely, it says full coverage, it says that it's lightweight silky finish, which is really what it gives. And now we just have to see if it's long wear. So after an hour, it's still looking absolutely great, where I feel like most foundations start fading after your first hour. So yeah, I finally finished the filming. It is now 12:09, which means that another hour has gone by, and from far you can kind of see that it still looks flawless. I would say it's definitely still full coverage. Everything's covered. It looks flawless, silky, same feeling. The only thing that I do notice is that I think it might have oxidized a little bit, maybe just with one shade. Not too much though, so it's not something to be too concerned about, but it still looks pretty amazing. You can kind of see the texture looks really good. The coverage is pretty good. We don't have any cakiness, and it's full coverage. Like, look at that. That's just like photo finish makeup. I think it's so beautiful. Guys, I just filmed the second video. It is now 2:12. Okay, so looking at the foundation now, it still looks full coverage, still looks flawless. Like I mentioned earlier with the oxidizing, it did definitely oxidize this shade darker. I find one shade, it's not too hectic, but I would say if you do shop for foundation, rather take one shade lighter. I can just see that it started fading around my nose area, which is over here. And that's why I normally, like, I have this habit of doing this all the time, and I think that's maybe why. But for the rest of the face, it's actually pretty good still. It looks a little bit flaky over here. Normally on my T-zone area I start getting oily during the day, but it's not oily at all. It almost just looks a little bit patchy, but from here it looks flawless still. Perfectly intact. As you can see, the makeup is still looking good. It sits well on it. You can see the highlighter is still there, the bronzing, contouring and that sort of thing. I think it's quite a good thing, because sometimes when your foundation fades, it's like your blush and highlighter and contouring goes with it. You know what I'm saying? A close up so you guys can see, but as soon as I come closer, you can kind of see that it looks a little bit patchy over here on my nose area, but the rest of it still looks pretty good. Okay, it is now almost 4 o'clock, and looking at my foundation from far, once again, it's still looking pretty good. My highlighter, contouring and blush still on. I must say, however, that on my nose over here, you can kind of start seeing my little freckles peeking through. On my chin as well, it's not as high coverage anymore. You can kind of see the little pimple I've got over there. And my forehead is, I wouldn't say very oily, but it's sort of oily. So the product looks a little bit patchy over there. But I must say, like, underneath my eyes and stuff like that, it's still pretty good in place. What I love about it is that it didn't crease anyway. Like, usually with foundations I would have like creases around my laughing lines, or creases here in my eye area, or even my forehead, because I tend to like talk like this a lot, which is crazy, and I don't have those creases there. So that's what I really love about this foundation. The full coverage foundation tends to really sink into those lines and stuff like that. creating cakiness and making it look really thick and heavy. Where this foundation, once again, it's super light. So I'm still pretty impressed. If I think about it, 10 o'clock, it's been on for 6 hours, which is not too bad. So it is pretty long wear, because overall it still looks pretty good. It still looks like I'm wearing makeup. It still looks like I have flawless skin. It's just those certain areas that kind of faded, but not everything. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do my last check in by 6 or so, and then we can come to the final conclusion of this foundation. Okay, so this is my last check-in. It is now 8:33 and I couldn't check in at 6 a.m. because we went to the gym and then went to my mom's house. But I must say, by the time I went to gym, it was still looking pretty good. I would say after gym you can see that it's sort of faded. You can definitely see my pimple coming through over here, some of my freckles and stuff like that. But overall it still looks like I'm wearing a little bit of foundation. It still looks like I'm maybe wearing a very light coverage foundation, like a BB cream or something like that. So when it comes to the long wearness of the Lancôme foundation, I would definitely say that it is pretty long wear. It's not full coverage long wear, but it is long wear, and you do have full coverage for, I would say, about 7 hours, which is almost a full working day. So that is pretty cool. Overall, I just think that this foundation is absolutely great. I love that the price is not you know, it's not overpriced. I love the packaging. I love the fact that you can buy refills. I love the lightweight feel of it, and I also love the fact that you can just throw a little compact thing like this in your handbag and you don't have any foundation messing or going anywhere, and it's pretty perfect to touch up those little places, like I said, my nose, my forehead and that sort of thing, and then you are sorted. So I definitely give this foundation a thumbs up. I am absolutely obsessed with Lovisa. If you're obsessed with Lovisa, make sure to thumbs up this video, girl. I love the fact that they kind of cater for every occasion, so you can buy anything from a daytime look to a nighttime clubbing, wedding stuff. They just have such a